Bro,
You know,
stop posting good news. Just get down
I
with the
saw
idea
because
everyone's going to die.
I
If you
saw
put down here everyone's going to die and see how many people jump on you about that one.
I
I'm
saw
serious. Just go out there and just knock it out of the park. Like we're all going to kill
I
children
saw
with our damn masks.
I saw a meme today, dude. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. They said 2019. It said 2019 colon. Try to stay away from negative people.
Yeah.
2020 colon. Try to stay away from positive people.
That's about right.
Somebody asked me. I want to know your take on this. Somebody asked me if they thought civil war was imminent, and I said I don't think it's really imminent. I feel like we are going to have. There's going to be a schism. We are on the path to a schism, where what's going to happen is people are going to, like, California is only getting bluer because people who are conservatives are getting out. I see that more and more every day. I have a lot of friends who are conservative who are getting out of here. It's only going to get bluer. So, and then of course the states that they're going to are going to get redder. So you're going to end up with like the South, and maybe like Ohio and the Midwest. You know, lots of that is going to be, the coasts are going to be blue, really blue, and sort of the middle and the South is going to be red. So each state's going to get redder and bluer, and then once it gets blue and red enough, then you're going to see a secession. I don't know how long that would take, but it could be accelerated if you end up with government that is going to take away Bill of Rights, and watering down Bill of Rights, rights from our Bill of Rights, constitutional rights. That stuff gets watered down, you're going to start to see an acceleration. But I honestly believe that secession is a possibility. Maybe not in our lifetimes, but it's a possibility. What's your take?
I I don't think it's as bad as all that. I I feel like you mentioned gaslighting. I feel like this is what we're talking about. That we are looking at things and they seem dark, but only if you're looking at them through the prism of the media. But you go and talk to people, it's not that bad. You know, the people who are on the left, they say some crazy stuff, mostly like about the mask and the pandemic and stuff like that, because they're scared,
Right.
and I mean, like irrationally scared of this virus. But past that, the differences aren't as stark. You can they have a political leaning, but you scratch the surface, and they're really not that far away from well, I guess where I am or you are. You know, I think we're all a little closer to the middle than we let on, than we think of ourselves, and the media is painting us as though it's very different. So you look at the California and say, "Oh, look how blue it is. It's only going to get bluer." But how blue is it really? I mean, there's a lot of red folks still in California. They're still living there. They're still working there, and they're not necessarily leaving. It's not everybody has flown the coop. They're just trying to get by. I, I don't know. I don't think that a civil war is necessarily imminent. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't think it's imminent, and I certainly don't think that it's. Uh, I don't think secession and all that. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. The schism, I don't know that necessarily that's going to happen, but there has to be a time where people start to return to uh, more originalist values. And I think that's possible. People are still there, and things like this mask, it takes a long time to do it, but it pisses everyone off. Eventually, it pisses everyone off, and the more people that get pissed off, as time goes on, the more people are going to start pushing back on it. The more they're going to start taking off their mask and asking what you're going to do about it, which I've already started seeing in this place, which is very blue.
Right.
So it's coming, it's a long time. I think there's a pendulum effect to the whole thing, and we're eventually going to swing back, to the right.
I hope you're right, man. What concerns me is that conservatives, we don't, we're not as vocal, right? We like to do things where we like to work with, the people on the other side. We're not the ones that are going out there and torching buildings down. We're not the ones out there who are,
But
you
the
know,
left doesn't do that either. The liberals or whatever you want to call them, they don't do that either. It's a very small percentage of them that are doing it, but it's painted to look like a lot of people are doing it. I think that the burning of buildings is still quite rare, or it wouldn't be making the news. Really, I think it's the way it's presented. It's the prism we're looking at it from.
oh, well, you're very optimistic.
I thought that was your job.
I know. I know. It's like we've switched. We've switched. Um, yeah, man. I just look at us, and look at us. I mean, we're not fighting, man. Like in Seattle, they made it mandatory for government whites to take a class on their white privilege and their white fragility. They forced them to take that class. And nobody's going out
Yeah,
there. No one's going out there going, "This is bullshit. I'm not doing it."
because the people that think that it's bullshit don't work for the government in Seattle. If you've been to Seattle, it's very left wing. It's
Okay,
very Democrat.
that's fair. That's fair.
Anybody who's a Republican doesn't live there. They've long since moved out of that particular town to the suburbs where they're probably calling bullshit on it, but they don't have to do it.
All I'm saying is the people on the left, they don't seem to have any qualms about being authoritative. They don't have any qualms about, you know, we don't care about your rights if, you know, if our belief system is propped up. You know, us on the other hand, our values are the rights are the most important thing. Even if I believe, that you shouldn't be able to get married if you're a gay person, I'm not going to say that you don't have the right to say that you do. You know, so I mean, and that's my problem, and that's also why I think that people that conservatives, they don't want to deal with that crap. So what they're going to do, they're not going to fight. They're just going to leave. They're going to go someplace else. I mean, and the reason why I think that is, look at me, man. I love California. The weather's great. I'm near the ocean. I love this place. We can go to the mountains. I love this place. My family's here, and Sean's family's here. But you know what? We are seriously considering leaving to a red state. I have a really good friend from high school. You probably know him. They moved to
Mm.
North Carolina. You know,
Yeah,
and the reason is it's just it's easier for us to just move than it is to just keep fighting, because you get tired of it and you can't, and it's a losing battle anyway. I mean, look how quickly it took. In the '80s, California was relatively red in the '80s. Duke Majan was governor. Yeah, we had. I think we had two Democratic senators, but the governor was a Republican, um, and then Wilson was after him. And he was a Republican, uh, and there was kind of balance, and that was just in the '80s. You know, Wilson was out in what '96. That's not that long ago.
Yeah.
Since then, it's just gone like this. What is it? 24 years? Very quickly, very quickly. So, I don't know. I get what you're saying, man. But it's
Guess we'll have to find out.
let's see.
I have some I guess modicum of hope. If you go any south of my current position, you actually start running into some Trump pin signs. You don't have to go far. I saw a dude with got his like straw hat on with the Trump pin, like the old you know politics
Yeah,
political convention type hat with the
yeah,
Trump pins on it, and I was like, wow, and he's just wearing that to you know go eat some crab. I was just
yeah.
like, okay.
I mean, yeah, Virginia's kind of unique, right? Because Virginia is basically under is taken hostage by the area around D.C. The rest of the
True.
state, the rest of the state is very conservative,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I mean, of course you're going to see that, absolutely. Unfortunately, there's not enough of them. You have your I'm assuming Richmond is pretty liberal too, um, but Richmond is more in the middle, right? I'm trying to remember my
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I wasn't talking about Virginia anyway. I was talking about Maryland, but you know, Maryland is a very blue state, but it has a Republican governor. There is balance here.
Would you call
Yeah.
him? Would you call him pretty? Would you call him conservative though? I mean, he seems pretty left for
No, I think
especially
he's
for
a
a conservative.
douchebag. I think he's an
Yeah,
absolute douchebag.
that's what I'm saying.
But
It's
but the fact is, he's Republican, which is a shock to the
right,
system.
right.
And he actually he governs a little more right than your average Democrat would. So it makes sense that he would
Okay.
be a Republican. But that's beside the point. I'm just saying that there is hope. You can get somebody into office that has an R next to their name, and you would think that's impossible, but it's not. So I have hope. Uh, I see these signs that yeah, and I mean, there are a lot of them. I'm not just saying like I see a sign. I mean,
Right.
you, you go one county south of here, and that's all you see.
Right.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
get some hope.
I still think Trump's going to be reelected. I still believe that, and I still believe that we're going to have we're going to have balance in Congress, in the legislature. I still believe we're going to have balance, um, but there's only going to be balance because it's a federal thing. I'm not sure that we're going to see a lot of balance in states. I mean, look at it right now. How many battleground states are there? Not that many, man. I mean, the election is fought between like 10 states out of 50.
I don't know whose fault that is. You know,
It's
get them
it's
fired up and some. See, you say that, but in the last election cycle, we saw Pennsylvania come into play. We
right.
saw that this wasn't supposed to happen. The blue wall wasn't supposed to change. That's why they called it that. So where is the battleground state? I mean, it used to just be Ohio and Florida, and you were good. but it's so much more than that now. There's so many more on the table. So I don't think anything is a lock. You know, I mean, California, we assume is going to go blue, but don't assume. You don't count your chickens. We were thinking that Georgia might flip. So you see what I'm saying? It's like who knows? Uh, Nothing's written in stone. I, I think a battleground is everybody, every state, and it's worth the fight. If you can take it to Delaware, man, get that juicy 3 electoral votes or whatever they got. What do they got? Like four? How many electoral votes do they have?
Something like that. Something like that.
Get it, man. Get it.
I think Biden's got Delaware locked up. Considering that's where he's from, I think he's got it locked up, man.
You think that, but I would. I don't know. If you have a face-to-face debate with Trump right there in Delaware, I think that he might lose some votes.
I mean, Mondale even won Minnesota.
Yeah, well, there you go. That poor man. What an embarrassment.
So, anyway, all right, everybody. If you want to see more of these, subscribe and like, comment.
Do we do that still? Oh, my mom's already subscribed. I don't know if anybody else is going to watch this.
We get a few views.
Yeah.
We usually get up to like 10, 15.